I do. Welcome back. I'm Matt. Disclosure Day, new Steven Spielberg film. I've seen a couple of little bits of it, and I thought, oh, I'll just watch the thing entirely. Obviously, just do this video of me watching the full trailer. But I saw, more importantly, I saw a couple of comments, and a couple of comments went, like, oh, this is really interesting, and there's symbology around the Emma Blunt poster with the eye, but it looks like the silhouette of a bird, and people are then looking at potential mythology around how certain birds can point to the spiritual world. And anybody who knows the UFO topic, there's this move to the what's called the woo. Rather than being nuts and bolts craft from another planet, it's now the spiritual element of this. Psionics, people connecting, communicating these things with the minds. So, yeah, let's have a look at Disclosure Day. Did Spielberg know something that we don't? Who knows? Maybe.
If you found out we weren't alone, if someone showed you, proved it to you, would that frighten you?
Good morning, Kansas City. Let's take a look at today. Today is today's.
There's a lot of people watching the weather, though. Is Kansas weather forecast that popular? That's accurate. That's really accurate. People can't just live in the moment these days. It's like everyone's got to record something. You have your fucking phones every now and then, you know what I mean?
People have a right to know the truth. It belongs to 7 billion people.
What is it?
Right on.
You won't believe me if I told you. So I'm gonna show you.
What are you gonna do?
Full disclosure to the whole world.
I call it Firth.
All at once.
People keep wondering, encountering the unknown.
They're coming! They're coming!
It looks like there's some sort of psychic element to this film, rather than it being a typical UFO film.
They are stopped.
Having a look at these screens. I mean, that's a hell of a lot of screens. B4, B3, B2. I can see a couple of UFOs on those screens as well. Not sure what's is that North Korea? That says North Korea on it. Ah. But it's like some sort of monitoring station.
For the truth.
Men in Black, maybe?
Do you think there could be others?
Why would he make such a vast universe? Yet save it only for us?
Okay. The alien, where's that? Have you ever seen the film Arrival? Not the latest one. That was a few years ago with Jeremy Renner. This was, I think, Charlie Sheen back in the 90s, where the Earth, like global warming, and the Earth was actually being warmed up by an extraterrestrial race who was trying to terraform the Earth. to raise the temperature because that's what they needed. And they spoke like that, like bit like clicks, but they had probably slightly different. But I believe that the guy who writes this was a writer for that. Similarities, maybe. The all click thing where she's like talking and then she sort of goes into something. I'm assuming that everyone watching that clip and people on the mobile phone watching that clip is after she did that. Because I can't imagine that many people would tune into the weather channel in Kansas to the fact that everyone's on planes watching it and a lot of nuns are sitting there thinking, oh, I wonder what the weather's doing in Kansas today. I'm assuming that she did that and then it went popular and viral and then everyone's sort of watching it. Maybe. The chasing, the big screens, massive, like loads of screens all around. Colin Firth. Is that potentially kind of the shadow government monitoring situations? I did see the words North Korea. So looks like they were monitoring a situation in North Korea. Maybe that's a shadow government. It looked to me like he was also connecting psychically to somebody because when he was moving his hand in a way, that person was also moving their hand. It was almost like he was controlling them psychically. Maybe. That's the element of the woo of the topic. The little girl walking towards the house, I'm assuming the bird and the moose, I was going to say it's an elk or something. I'm assuming that that's kind of aliens portraying themselves as these animals during an abduction scene, and the house that's lighting up is actually a UFO, I assume. And the young girl as well, looked like the woman who was in the house with the guy with the backpack. So I'm assuming that was her as a child who maybe being what they call an experiencer these days, which is an abductee. So, yeah, one of the things that I did see, though, is a comment to say, this looks a bit more fanciful, a bit more 2025 sort of action UFO flick, whereas Close Encounters of the Third Kind was grounded in more reality a little bit. Obviously, for a UFO film, probably not, 100% in reality. But if you go back and look at the trailer for Close Encounters of the Third Kind, then you'll see there's a lot of similarities. There's like a car chase where he's plowing through a fence. There's lights appearing in the sky, things happening, like an abduction of a young kid, like the lights coming through the house and the young kid gets abducted. There's a lot of similarities with Close Encounters of the Third Kind. So I wouldn't write it off as, oh, well, it's not like Close Encounters of the Third Kind, because you've seen Close Encounters, but the trailer portrayed it as something similar. So I'll wait to see, but I am really, really intrigued. It's funny because if anyone is aware of the UFO topic, we're talking about moving the needle closer to disclosure. It's probably not a coincidence that the age of disclosure has been released recently. And now we've got Steven Spielberg releasing Disclosure Day. And there's talk about whether Trump's going to be the disclosure president. So, who knows? Looks interesting. Let me know your thoughts. I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.